Federal High Court has issued an order preventing the Independent National Electoral Commission from recognizing the results of the People's Democratic Party 2025 National Convention. Now, Justice James Omotosho issued the order on Friday while delivering judgment in a suit challenging the legality of the convention. The judge predicated the decision on the grounds that the PDP failed to comply with the relevant conditions and laws for the conduct of such conventions. The judge held that evidence proved by the electoral umpire and some of the respondents showed that congresses were not held in some states of the federation in breach of the law. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party has rejected the Federal High Court's ruling halting its planned national convention in Ibadan, for the 15th and 16th of November. Now, the party described the judgment by Justice Kolawole Omotosho as an assault on democracy and vowed to appeal. The National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, has said that the preparations would continue while National Chairman Umar Damagum called the decision the handiwork of saboteurs. The court held that the PDP failed to conduct valid state congresses or issue proper notices to INEC, making the convention invalid. Justice Omotosho also directed the party to correct the irregularities before proceeding. Political analyst Katch Ononuju joins me now on the news for more insight of all that's going on with the PDP. Welcome to the program, sir. I mean, the court has now blocked INEC from recognizing the PDP's convention results. Let's start with your thoughts on this move.
You rightly stated, the courts have told the party to go and get its house in order. And these are internal issues with the party. The party, as I'm speaking to you right now, are going on with the convention, plans, preparations for the convention. They believe these are just the regular fireworks. The problem you have, there are some states where the outcome of what was conducted there was not acceptable to the party. And so the party said it would not take such persons as results because these conventions were not properly done. There were actually places where Wike seems to want to in place and produce his own candidates. And the party say they can go to the convention without that, but they have substantially complied with the demands of the law in quite a lot of states. So if there are very few states where there are no conclusion of the internal mechanisms there that will normally get candidates, the party may want to go tell the courts that there are problems, and this is the reason why, despite these problems, we're moving on and to go do our convention. As I'm speaking to you right now, nothing has stopped the party from its preparations and its movement towards the convention.
Right. I mean, it's one thing to be prepared and, move forward for the convention in Ibadan for the 15th to the 16th. But one thing that's clear is also the tensions that are running high within the party and causing, disunity at this point. How do you think this ruling will affect that unity and its leadership battles, just as we're seeing, the juggernauts as APC just forming a very solid and united front? So the PDP is disunity at this point.
I don't think you can call what you have in the APC as solid and united. There's trouble everywhere. Because the APC has its internal problems. Its members broke away to start ADC. We're not talking about issues about Tinubu and the North not agreeing. And we're having people now talking about a coup. So the APC does have fundamental issues. You cannot say that everywhere is peaceful. So the PDP's issue are known, and that's due to a consequence of Wike trying to control. But I think they outplayed him, getting the secretary to sign beforehand to give all powers to the convention committee. So I think this will linger. The PDP will have to go through this. Yes, it came back together not on time, but it will have to go through this kind of crisis before it can get itself together. There's nothing wrong. I think what the PDP is now fighting is the consequences of the Atiku Abubakar disease. This is what it is. It has led to the party faltering, suffering so much. Next time, the PDP and any other political party should respect its rules when it comes to, in this case, zoning. If it had respected its rules in 2023 and had zoned to the south, we wouldn't be where we are. But because it allowed Atiku's inordinate ambition to undermine it and lack of zoning, that's why you have all these reactions. And these reactions are not good for any political party. I hope the PDP and other parties will learn from the current crisis that the PDP is going through.
Right. I mean, we've seen that the PDP has described the ruling by the Federal High Court as an attack on democracy. I mean, do you see that way as well? Is the court just making sure that they follow due process and the rules?
The attack on democracy is as a consequence of, moves who may be working for people who are not in the PDP to actually undermine the strengthening of the opposition parties. And that's where, yes, I will agree, it's an attack on democracy. But the PDP also has itself to blame. This is a consequence of the PDP not respecting zoning in 2023. And then it had this issue. There were two major events. One, a consequence of not respecting that forced the formation of the obedient movement. The other one was Wike's insistent anger, which we've also seen like this. So these are the extremes that come when a party doesn't keep to its rule. And that's why I call the PDP problem the Atiku Abubakar conundrum. If Atiku had respected the rights of the Southerners to go into the presidency, I don't think we will be where we are. And it all goes back to this same issue we're talking about, jihad. In Nigeria, at the end of the Civil War, was 35% Muslims. But later on, you now had a cascade of 3 coups. Babangida was one of them, Buhari started in Abacha. And we now use that to now foist the Muslims to hold the strength of the government and the rulership of Nigeria.
Right.
Suddenly getting them now to share power with the Christians becomes a problem in both the parties and also in other issues. And I think Nigeria is going through a very difficult time, and we need to understand that. So the issue of the Northerners not allowing the Christians from the South to rule is all tied into the same old holistic picture of the jihad. We have to remake Nigeria. We need to get the North to understand the Southerners are part of it.
This is now metamorphosing into a different conversation entirely, and I wish we had enough time for that. But I must say thank you, Katch Ononuju. He is a political analyst, giving us a bit of insight as the Federal High Court has ruled a pause to the convention, the PDP National Convention, which is to be held in November 15 to 16 in Ibadan.